Just imagine you go to your manager next week after the cold and you sit down and you say, hey, I have my 2026 and a performance plan. And one of my plan is I want to get $1 million raise. Why multifamily is usually most understood and why people like it and why this segment is one of the best segments to create value. The first one, deal availability. There are plenty of deals depending on your balance sheet, your equity power. There's plenty from $500,000 to $200, $300, $400 million worth of deals. It's a variety of deals. Since their availability, that means the odds of winning a deal is higher. Odds for us to buying a deal is much higher frequency, and that's one of the best things about multifamily. Second thing, it's very familiar. What's the difference between owning a one house versus owning 100 houses? The issue is you have to do 100 different transactions in 100 different locations. You are driving around. You may not have time after your job. What if you say, I'm going to buy all 100 into one location and then I stack it 3 ways, like a 3 stories, right? That is the apartment is. That's why people get it. If you flip one house, if you have rehab one house, all of a sudden you're rehabbing 10 houses at a time. That means you're rehabbing 10 units at a time. Instead of you going to Home Depot, you're going to send your crew to go to Home Depot, pick up the lumber, and do the rehab. So it is easier. At the bottom, there's a lot of mom and pop. This is one of those asset classes, it changes hands. Somebody will buy an apartment or 2 or 3 when they're mid-30s. After a decade, they'll be like, I'm done, I want to retire. I want to give it to Cliff. Cliff buys it, he gives to Muhammad, right? So there's a cycle that happens, which is why you'll see a lot of fragmented ownership. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then they cap out. So lots of assets, lots of deals, a lot of fragmented ownership. That means we can go buy more. One of the coolest things is rent is due on the 1st. Doesn't matter what happens, right? It's due. I know some people will not pay the rent, but I get it. But most of the time they pay rent on time. So rent is due, and most of the time rent is directly proportional to the inflation. One of the ways we can create value in the multifamily, or that way, it's that you have pricing power. Every 12 months, we get to go change the rate. Every 12 months. If you have a contract for 6 months, every 6 months, you get to go change the price of whatever rent that you have. And that's why it's very powerful right here, the pricing power. And you'll see how, since we have the control on the pricing, how quickly we can create value on the multifamily. We have 2 more to go. The last one, last but not the least, it's the personal goal and satisfaction. So directly impact to the society. So let me give an example. One of our large assets that we bought in Pasadena, Texas. So when we bought this property, so think about it, we closed it on a Thursday and we went to the assets to kind of pick it up, the whole ownership. Property management team left that week, so nobody was there. It was that bad. And when you walk outside, you could smell sewage, right? It was that bad. So we picked up, we made 2 rounds of revisions, exterior upgrade, interior upgrade. And now when you go in after 1.5 years into the whole project, it felt like a very cozy inner city property. We got the string lights, we have gazebos, we have grilling stations, we have dog park, and we changed the whole block, at least for us. To a point, the retail center next door took our color coordination and they repainted that. All of a sudden, we went from a property that is stinky, like literally and physically per se, I guess. And then the whole city block changed. We'll have mothers, at least there's one tenant I remember, she came down, she said, I used to be worried that my daughter is gonna make it through from the bus to the property. Now I enjoy her playing in front of me at night and I'm really comfortable. This is how you give back. I've seen people changing locations, the street, the block, by changing your property, by teaching them how to live better, by giving them education. And this is one way to give back. In one of our properties in San Antonio, every month, there's a charge, there's a non-profit. They come in, they spend about 3 to 4 hours educating some of the tenants and about the school, about the extracurricular activities, about the life, about the job. On one side, we're earning, creating economic value, and also one side we're giving back. And that is as simple as that. As you can create your profit, you can give back. And this is my favorite. You get to design your lifestyle. As we age, right, we tend not to change a whole lot, which is okay. You get to pick. If you say, I want to be in control of every little dang thing I do, Go buy 50 units and a property. Run the whole thing. Every dollar goes through your head. Absolutely fine. And if you think I want to have a team, that's how I deliver, and I am comfortable with it, go buy a $20 million deal where you cannot run the asset. You have to hire a property management company, so you have to deliver through others. It's here. So that's one. Second thing, and I'll come back to that, I think again, it's you also get to design what you buy and how often you buy and how big you buy. It's up to you. You're the bottleneck of your decisions, not anyone else. Just imagine you go to your manager next week after the cold, and you sit down and you say, hey, I have my 2026 in a performance plan, and one of my plan is I want to get $1 million raise. It sounds weird, isn't it? No, just practice with me. You go in front of your boss, right? You're gonna say, hey, I really want to get $1 million raise, and show me a pathway in the next 5 years to do so. Just practice that, and I'll come back to that one.
So Olivia can teach you how to fire your boss before you get fired.
And I just want to be ahead of the game. So that's why I always like to help you to fire your boss before you get fired. So it's just because it's just a matter of time before you get fired. So I want to be ready for that.
Awesome. We'd love to see you guys here. We love commercial real estate. Ping us, message us if you'd like to hear more.